Game week 2 for the 23-24 Premier League season has officially concluded, and I'm going to recap all the results, fixtures, and highlights of the weekend. We're going to get right into my predictions. I'm Sideline Sedo, by the way. I cover all things Premier League, Liverpool, and beyond on this channel, all things football related, really. And if you make it to the end of the video, consider subscribing. Well, this is honestly a crazy start. 2-1. I predicted this scoreline. I predicted Taiwo Awoniyi to score as well. So maybe double points, correct score, correct goal scorer, definitely some good points for me there. This game, I honestly won't lie to you, I didn't wake up for, but I did see Gustavo Hamer's goal, and that was honestly an absolute banger. He scored a disgusting goal. And yeah, I mean, not much more that can be said about this. Serge Aurier got 2 assists. He went off in FPL, and ultimately pretty happy about that one. Decent start to the weekend. And then I had another correct game prediction. I predicted Brentford to win. I also predicted 2 correct goal scorers here. I said Yona Wissa and Brian Mbeumo would both score again, and they did. And Brian Mbeumo actually scored a brace, and he's, I think, the joint or outright leading goal scorer in the Premier League at the moment. So that's pretty hype. Fulham just not really looking up to snuff. They just lost Mitrovic for 50, 60 mil. So that's going to be harsh for them. And yeah, I mean, there was a red card in this game. We're going to get through all the red cards as well. There's a lot of red cards. There's a red card in the Brentford game and a few other ones down the fixture list. But Tim Ream got 2 yellows, sent off in the 64th minute. But then game 3, another correct match prediction. I predicted Liverpool to win. But not only did I predict Liverpool to win, I predicted Liverpool to win 3-1, and I predicted Salah to score. So that's pretty hype. The one downside to this game is in the 58th minute, there was a red card for Alexis McAllister. I haven't talked about this, but it was the softest straight red I've ever seen in my life. And since it was a straight red, VAR can't intervene in the same way. And if this appeal isn't, kind of verified by the Premier League, then Alexis McAllister is going to miss the next 3 games. But overall, I'm happy. I'm 3 for 3 on match predictions, and I have 2 exactly correct, result predictions. 2-1 for Nottingham Forest against Sheffield and 3-1 for Liverpool against Bournemouth, and predicted 2 goal scorers in the Brentford game with the correct result. This is where it starts to taper off, though. I predicted 1-1 for some reason. I don't know what got into me, but Brighton just did Brighton things. They won 4-1 against Wolves. It seems like they're, this is kind of Brighton's result of the season, in the sense of how frequently they're going to get it. They're probably going to slap up a few teams 4-1. So shout out Brighton, shout out Estupinian and Matoma linking up with a goal and assist each, and Ciso with 2 assists as well. Awesome stuff there. And then finally, there was a red card, or second yellow, I should say, not a straight red, for Mateus Nunes. So that's in 4 games, there was 3 red cards to start the week, which is just kind of crazy. Wolves just not looking good enough, honestly. They look like they're really kind of regressed a bit. But the next game is Spurs versus Man United. And this game was honestly kind of just enthralling to see. Pape Sarr scored, which was really nice to see for him. He didn't have the best of ends to his season last season, but he won man of the match and was voted man of the match. And then there was also Lissandro Martinez's own goal. At the time, I thought Ben Davies scored it, but they chalked it up as an own goal. And United, Mason Mount, just not good enough. Honestly, that's the cold hard truth of it. They kind of look the same as last season, kind of aimless, and that midfield is just not working out. They have to sell some of these players that are sitting on the bench, the likes of Maguire, McTominay, Brandon Williams, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. They're all just kind of taking up spots on the bench and not really playing. And honestly, a lot of them don't even want to move at this point. So they got the cushy wages. But I predicted 2-1 for Tottenham for this game, and almost true, So got 4 out of 5 accurate results. There's 9 fixtures this week because Luton and Burnley was postponed, but Moving on to Man City versus Newcastle, I predicted a goal fest in this game, and this was honestly maybe one of the more boring games of the weekend. City just, they got the win through an Alvarez goal that was really great. I watched both this and the Tottenham United game on stream, so this game was definitely a lot less engaging, especially after the first half. It just kind of fell into a lull, as City games tend to do, because they're just so good at outpossessing teams. But Newcastle had fairly even possession for the first half, and they just kind of tapered off as things progressed. But City won 1-0. I predicted a 3-2 win and for it to be a goal fest. So not accurate on what would happen, but accurate with prediction for a win here for City. Then Villa versus Everton. I predicted 4-0. I predicted 3-0. Villa got 4-0, so they went up me there. But Everton also I don't think they've scored a goal in their first 2 games. They're looking bleak. Merseyside derby is going to be frenetic, I think, because when Everton doesn't play too well, they like to ratchet up the physicality. So let's hope that everything stays well. But credit to Villa, good bounce back win for them after last week's disappointing opener to the season against Newcastle at St. James Park, where they lost 5-1. Next up, West Ham versus Chelsea. This game was so shocking that I had to make a video on it yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But game started with a James Ward-Prowse assist to Naif Aguard off a corner in the 7th minute. Carney Chukwuemeka scored a goal in the 28th. He also then went off injured at halftime. And then in the 53rd, there was a mistake at the back. James Ward-Prowse got an assist to Mikel Antonio. And around the 61st, this is really the apex point in this game where everyone's kind of talking about it. Ben Chilwell is subbed off. Moise Caicedo comes on. And Moise Caicedo, after Naif Aguard picks up a second yellow, is sent off. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, 4 games out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 4 out of 8 till now had red cards, which is pretty outrageous. But after Naif Aguard was sent off, West Ham started to kind of come into their own a bit more. They did obviously score before that, but that whole second half kind of felt like West Ham. Chelsea was trying to find a way through. And then the 94th, 93rd minute, Moise Caicedo lunges in, makes a penalty, gives away a pen. And Lucas Paqueta, of all people, scores the penalty, which is just kind of comedic, to say the least. But great home debut for James Ward-Prowse. First West Ham player ever to assist 2 goals on his home debut. So credit to him. And finally, the last game, Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. I predicted Arsenal to win 2-1. By the way, for the West Ham-Chelsea game, I just realized I didn't say my prediction. I predicted a 1-1. It finished 3-1. And for Crystal Palace Arsenal, I predicted a 2-1 Arsenal win. Arsenal won 1-0 instead. And there's also another red card here. So that's 5 out of 9 games this weekend that had red cards. And that's more than half. But on top of that, if Burnley and Luton play, that's still half. So that's a crazy amount of games to get red cards, and feels really weird. But quickly, just going to look at my FPL. Show you guys my team, the points that I got. I didn't do the hottest after. So 71, I had 71 points in game week 1. Now in game week 2, I have 52. I did do 2 transfers. I've fallen off a bit. Still above average in both weeks. I lost 4 points from this. Still was above average for that week. So this was my lineup. Stupinian did really well, and Sedo did pretty good. Alvarez did well. Holland kind of ghosted. Szoboszlai did okay. Salah did okay. Rico Henry did good. Areola, biggest kind of, could have kept him in for an additional 8 points. Would have had 60. That'd be huge. And honestly, I feel like some of these transfers will pay off as the season progresses. Kulishevsky didn't really hit the ground running. Colwell had a stinker of a weekend. Ben Mee didn't even play, but, I'm now in 10,000th, or in the top 10,000 still for the That's Football Premier League, but that's not good enough, even though I went up. Want to be in the top hundreds for these. So
I'll keep you guys up to date on my FPL team as the season progresses. I'll have my FPL team again I'll show it to you guys before I make my predictions for the Premier League Game Week 3 fixtures. But thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below. What did you think of this past Game Week 2 for the 23-24 Premier League season? How'd your predictions fare? How'd your FPL team fare? Like the video if you enjoyed. And if you made it to the end of the video and you're not already subscribed, come on, why don't you subscribe? Because I'm on the road to 1,000, and that would honestly mean the world to me. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. It really means the world to me. I truly appreciate it. I'm Sideline Sedo. Thanks again. Peace.